It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm gonna get to the question, Mr. President. And thank you for making the time to be here. This is great for us. What is your favorite sport? And what's your favorite athletes? I think this is a great start.
Nearly got me off guard there, hey?
Yeah, I know.
Well, let me be honest.
Yes.
I'll tell you my favorite sport because I played it for a long time.
Yes.
And I enjoy it thoroughly, and I enjoy watching it still. Tennis.
Tennis.
Yes, I love tennis, and I watch it. But I have other sport codes that I really enjoy. It's more emotional because I get jealous because I can't do what they can do. You know, they almost like wiggle their bodies, and they do it exceptionally well.
Amazing. How about an athlete, favorite athlete? Maybe outside of me.
Oh, yeah. we talked about this, didn't we? Well, we have a young man in Botswana who's rocking the world.
Amazing.
Tebo Holitsile. And he broke the African record for 100 meters, 200 meters.
Yeah.
He's 19 years old, and he's come very close to the global record and doing very well in the Diamond League right now. That's, for now, that's my favorite athlete besides you.
I appreciate that. So can you tell us about the economic impact of sports in Botswana?
Wow, that's a big story.
I know.
The economic impact of sport in Botswana is massive and growing. Mm-hmm. I can always, take this to scale to the continent.
Correct.
Massive and growing, and everybody needs to pay attention. There's a simple reason for it. One is, besides the fact that, we Africans can dance, we can play.
Exactly.
Two is, we're the youngest continent. The demographics in Botswana, as is the situation in Africa, speak to youthfulness. There are very many young people. The youngest continent in the world, the fastest growing continent in the world, and therefore, just out of sheer logic, the one that's going to present the longest period of time in the world with the most young people. And sport and young people speak to one another. Because of our level of development, which is relatively low compared to other parts of the world, the opportunities that present themselves in terms of development of infrastructure, development of road networks, airports, rail stations, stadia, courts, tracks, the development of the human capital to support this, the development of the physiological and physiotherapeutic capacities, and medicine, the development of media, and the tourism is unparalleled. So the opportunities are huge. So that's why it's going to grow so much. And in recent times, particularly with advanced technological improvements, including teleco and connectivity, young people in Africa and in Botswana possess smartphones. They are the fastest growing possessors or owners of smartphones in the world. So reaching them, massive. A whooping 1.3 billion Africans. And the opportunity is there. The potential for business and economic growth, unparalleled.
Amazing. Thank you. This is great. So I was a bit curious. You have strongly advocated for natural diamonds versus lab-grown diamonds. This is a conversation we just have in the back. And Botswana being one of the world's top producers of diamonds, what role do you think sports, and specifically us as athletes, can play into preserving the legacy of the Botswanan diamonds?
Well, let me just set the context. Botswana is the largest producer of diamonds by value globally. Botswana is home to the world's richest diamond mine by value. Botswana is also home to another small mine that produces the largest stones most reliably and frequently. Botswana is the second largest producer of diamonds by volume globally. And Botswana is fast riveting to a knowledge-based economy and therefore value chain development in terms of processing of diamonds.
Correct.
So it really is. Diamonds are Botswana and Botswana diamonds. The two match. As for what role you can play in promoting diamonds, because everything else are not diamonds. I know you call them fake diamonds, lab-grown diamonds. They're not diamonds. Diamonds are diamonds. And it's the natural stones created by millions of years of the most impactful physical forces taking place caused by nature. And you can't do that in a few hours in the lab.
Correct.
So to promote that as athletes is really to promote your own DNA, your own integrity. You are naturally talented. The two go together. You've got to associate if you are to be organic, intrinsic, and of high quality. The reason you also need to associate yourself with natural diamonds is because not only are they just natural and innate, but they are unique. You athletes in your talents and esoteric capacities are unique. And marketing is about differentiation. When you can differentiate and convince the public that you stand out, distinct from everybody else or anything else, that goes together. If you want to lower your standard as an athlete, you associate yourself with easy, cheap replicability. No value. But in natural diamonds, it makes sense. Finally, because of the provenance that we possess, our diamonds do good, will always do good, have always done good, and we govern them for the good of our country. Even in the way we mine them, excruciatingly responsible in consideration for planet Earth.
Amazing.
And everything that comes from our diamonds works for all our people. Roads, medication, education. Every citizen of my country, myself included, who is here, have the talents we have, live the life we live, like our compatriot citizens, because of diamonds. There is no country in the world for which diamonds mean as much as they do for Botswana. And I don't know why any good-thinking, admirable athlete would not want to associate with such a good product and such wonderful provenance.
Appreciate that. That put a lot of pressure on a lot of athletes. So. All of you got to keep up, guys. Thank you. So as a president, what's your commitments to ensure that sports sector continue to grow and that opportunities are created for the youth?
Well, speaking for my country, Botswana, we are committed to young people, and part of the demonstration of that commitment is our resolve, however difficult it is financially, to put in a strong bid that we have to host the African Confederation Cup of Nations finals in 2027. And in the bid book, we're committed to improving our stadia, all our infrastructure. We're committed to building new stadia. I mean, the most appeasing designs that also speak to our comparative advantages. We are the world's headquarters for the most pristine safari destinations. Sorry, Kenya. We also are the world's headquarters of the best organic beef in the world. And yes, we possess the diamonds. We also have the track record of being the oldest, most successful multi-party democracy in Africa. We're a happy people. We're a welcoming people. We're a peaceful people and nation state. And so we want to welcome you to Botswana and expose you to these young people who will serve you memorably. You will never want to leave when you come.
Again, guys, we got more pressure here, so no pressure.
And so we invest in our young people. We provide education for them.
Amazing.
Like I said, every revenue we raise, we are committed to making sure we invest the majority of that in our young people, because that's where the future lies.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Mr. President. I don't want to take up too much of your time. You're already giving us more than enough. We thank you for coming, and thank you guys for listening.